Welcome to the Healthy, Wealthy, and Smart podcast. Each week, we interview the best and brightest in physical therapy, wellness, and entrepreneurship. We give you cutting-edge information you need to live your best life, healthy, wealthy, and smart. The information in this podcast is for entertainment purposes only and should not be used as personalized medical advice. And now, here's your host, Dr. Karen Litzy.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the podcast. I'm your host, Karen Litzy, and in today's episode, I am happy to welcome back Dr. Jenna Cantor for another great interview. This time it is with Dr. Andrew Tran. Andrew is a physical therapist who has worked in a variety of settings as a new grad, from travel PT to skilled nursing facility, outpatient ortho, and starting his own practice in his first 2 years. He is the founder of Physio Memes, with the goals of connecting physios globally via humor and merchandise to proudly represent our profession. He is also the owner of Transcend Health, which is an outpatient private practice with the vision to create a healthy, empowered, and educated community to build a life of resilience. In this episode, they talk about how Andrew got started in building physical therapy memes. From a hobby to a business, Andrew runs through some of the Business 101 basics, why entrepreneurs must master time management, and Andrew's advice to ignite the fire for budding entrepreneurs. So a big thanks to Andrew and, of course, to Jenna for another great episode.
Hello, this is Jenna Cantor. I am interviewing Andrew Tran today here on Healthy, Wealthy, and Smart. And he is the owner and founder of Physio Memes, which is a great business. Please check it out online if you have not. And I wanted to interview him today because not only is he a physical therapist, but he's an entrepreneur and has created a business. And so And it's a very creative one because yours just kind of came from something fun you like to do.
Exactly.
And you built it up. I don't want to go into it. I want Angie to spend more time talking about it. So our topic today is building a business from memes. All right. So what in the first list, what got you interested in building memes for physical therapy?
So first I didn't even start off really as a business. It was just, I think it was a little bit after I graduated, me being like my nerdy self, like I think this is when memes started like popping up everywhere, being really popular. So I was like, all right, let's look up some memes for physical therapy. And, when I was just kind of searching around on, Facebook and Instagram and everything, there really wasn't a consistent place that had physical therapy memes. So that's kind of where I started, Physio Memes, like the page, and, just kind of creating my own memes here and there, and then reposting some other people's memes and just kind of having fun with it, creating an account. I wasn't really thinking of making something, big out of it at all.
And that's so cool because I remember getting requests to like your page and I didn't know you yet. And I liked it though. I thought, Physio Memes, this is cool. And I liked it. So it's interesting how you're saying that because I'm like, I literally remember being asked to like your page. Did you ever imagine it would grow into a business? Why or why not?
Starting off, no, like I was posting memes and just kind of making my own, whatever I thought was funny, I would just just put up, and had no intentions at all with it being a business. And then fast forward maybe a year and a half later, I was looking kind of around like the same thing of like looking up for memes. I was looking up T-shirts for physical therapists and like stuff that was like funny. I was out there like a place that had also, because you would just see like random shirts here and there that people would post and stuff. And I was like, well, I was one like a central location where I can like buy shirts for physical therapists. And of course there was nothing there. So I was like, what if I just like create something? And I didn't think, I was gonna make a couple shirts here and there as well, but then slowly kind of build things. But that's just kind of where it started because I was like, well, no one else is making it. And I was like, my mind thinks in memes, and I was like, certain of those memes, I was like, oh, this can actually be wearable on a product, on a shirt, or like on a coffee mug or something like that. So that's kind of where it started.
So what actions did you take to transition your meme hobby into a business?
So I had no clue how to, turn this into a business instead of just making, one or two shirts.
Yeah.
Which, a lot of people can just post that out. And I was like, I really kind of was thinking long term with this and wanted to make it into a business and have like a full-fledged site and everything. So I kind of brought this to mentor, Greg Todd, and I was like, brought this idea to him. He was like, yeah, we'll just make it happen. And I was like, he's like, go get a Shopify account. So Shopify is kind of like a Weebly or WordPress or Wix, basically just a place that houses a website, but specifically made for e-commerce.
Oh, that's
So,
cool.
Yeah. So he was like, said, go get a Shopify account and, go get an LLC. And then, so I kind of followed what he told me. And
Wait, how do you get an LLC? This is new. LLC. What was?
Okay. Oh yeah. Sorry. I guess.
Yeah.
Kind of backing up with that. So an LLC. So depending on, I guess, not knowing. I think depending on your industry and your different state, it depends if to get an LLC or an S corp, basically a business title or whatever you
Is it like
call
a business license?
Kind of like a business license, basically to establish yourself as a business. So I talked to like my accountant or whatever who like does like my taxes for my family to go get an LLC, and I just Googled, YouTubed it basically. And
that's great. That's great. You're like, all right, this is how I do it.
Yeah. So I looked at, she's like, yeah, go get an LLC, and basically went on the Secretary of State for Ohio, where I'm based out of, and basically they give you, luckily in Ohio, is probably every other state, you can just go step by step and tell you exactly what you need to do to set that up.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, because some people will go to like LegalZoom or some other websites they'll pay like extra $50 for someone to do it, but you don't really need to. It was on YouTube and Google, and I was able to set that up. Yeah, so spell it out for you. So yeah, so then I got that, and I looked up what Shopify was. So I had no clue what that was either, and then spent probably like a month and a half of learning how to set up a website, because I'm really bad at doing all that. And luckily, Shopify makes it very user friendly to set up an e-commerce store. So
this is incredible. Okay, because clearly when you started off, you had no idea. You just were driven by your passion to turn it into a business, and you can even hear it as you're talking. You're going, "What did I do?" Because you didn't go in there thinking I'm going to be an entrepreneur. You're like, I'm a physical therapist, and then you just happened to find something new that you loved, and that's so great. So you turned into LLC. You went to Shopify. You made this kind of commerce website there, and you basically just figured it out on your own. That's amazing.
Yeah, I probably could have fast-tracked it a little, because I think Greg just told me to do that, and I like didn't call him for a few weeks. I was like spending all this time
figuring it out
that I should have, but and then now I've learned how to do all that, but I probably could have fast-tracked a lot of that.
That's fine. It's the journey. It's all about enjoying the journey anyway. Exactly. You've also very likely probably enjoyed that journey of figuring it out.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So what obstacles did you encounter along the way, and how did you overcome them?
The big thing was when I actually decided to, kind of go all in on trying to create an actual business from this and kind of creating the brand. The biggest thing was I was like, well, everyone talks about it who has like a social media or online presence of just being consistent with everything.
Oh yeah.
So then that was like, okay, well, if I'm going to do this, I have to be consistent. So one way to kind of grow my Instagram page, I started posting, I think it was November. I started posting every single day. I don't think I missed a day since whenever I first started, posting a meme or something every single day.
Oh, that's great.
So there's a lot, I don't know if it's an obstacle, but basically it is hard to make sure you stay on top of it. So I'll usually create memes and have a batch of them, so I don't have to think of one every single day.
Right. So you plan ahead.
Yeah, so doing that. And then also I was working full-time at an outpatient orthopedic clinic or whatever.
Wow.
And I wanted to go all in, and I basically had aspirations to open up a clinic as well down the road. And I was like, well, I can't work full-time and then try to do this online business and then try to learn things to build my own clinic.
Yeah,
so actually I quit that full-time job. And that was when I spent a month and a half. It was a lot of time every single day of learning how to build a website, how to connect all those different back-end things, email marketing, creation contents and all that. So basically, yeah. So one thing I decided was, I was at a good job, but I was like, I got to quit the job basically.
To make these dreams happen.
Exactly. Yes, I just work PRN on the side right now. Just basically, the big thing was time. That's what everyone always
And you
says.
needed time. You needed time to make this. I love that. Clearly, you are so driven by this passion, and I think anybody listening in can definitely tell because of all the hard work you've put in, and you quit your job to really put more time into it. I think that says so much. Now, any advice would you give to someone who's looking to create a business from scratch that revolves around whatever passion of theirs?
Honestly, like the biggest thing is just getting started somewhere. Of just taking that first initial step, because I think when I had talked to Greg about this idea, I was honestly probably overwhelmed with all the things I needed to do to set everything up, because building a website and finding out how to take payments, and then how to make designs, because obviously I had all these ideas, like I don't even know how to make a daggone design to put on a shirt. So it was all in my head. But basically, once I took that first step of applying for that LLC, and then creating that account, like just something small, just creating an account to make a website, like that was just that first initial step. Because a lot of times and I still do this, the things like I have all these ideas, like how the heck am I going to get all this done? But just taking what is the next step that you need to do, and just kind of continuing with that rather than, thinking about all the other things that you need to do.
Yeah. All right. Well, I have the last question, which I've actually been quite excited about because I've seen a lot of your memes. Which one is your favorite?
Oh man, I have a lot of favorites. The thing is, it's hard, I guess, through audio to explain a meme. So I guess maybe that's why.
Well, you do have the one with the coffee cup that says how about some tensor fascia latte?
Yeah, that's yes, it's on a coffee mug. It says sipping on my tensor fascia latte.
Yes, that's what it says.
I don't know. So I can't remember what the original interview question was. And it's also the most popular one, but I was laughing to myself when I first made it. It's probably one of my favorite ones. Is this kid's being interviewed, and this actual clip went viral a while back. And basically, the interviewer was asking this 4-year-old kid something. I think something about his first day of school, but and all of a sudden he says yes, and then she comes back and says really, and then he pauses for 5 seconds, starts crying, and basically the caption I had on the meme was, "Do you enjoy PT school?" So he's like, "Yes," and the interviewer's like, "Really?" And then of course we all relate to it, "Yeah, we all enjoy PT school," but then of course
you start to cry from
for the stress, and we all know it. So and it just fit perfectly. So yeah,
I saw that one.
Yeah, so that's probably one of my favorite ones, because I feel like that was one that almost everyone can relate to, because we do love PT school, we love the field and everything, but then just all that emotion stuff definitely builds up, and it just strikes a nerve.
That is great. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming in and just sharing your story. You really just come from this drive that I just find to be so impactful and empowering to others. So thank you for coming on and sharing your story.
Well, thank you for having me on. Definitely had a lot of fun.
Awesome.
Thank you for listening, and please subscribe to the podcast at podcast.healthywealthysmart.com. And don't forget to follow us on social media.